Red Dragon Archfiend. Oh, well, I guess I should move this. Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile. I do not have a side deck for this. You can just fill it with a bunch more hand traps. Honestly, with whatever you want. So let's start with the main engine. Yes, I say main because there's multiple engines. So we start off with 3 Soul Resonators. It's pretty obvious. This will focus. It does quite a bit. And then its protection once it's in the graveyard. Goes pretty well with the next piece of engine, or your secondary, which is what the Soul Resonator searches. That's 3 copies of Bone Archfiend. It can dump your Crimson Resonator in the grave, which I'll get to in a second, and then it also drops the level so that you can get into your Red Rising Dragon. And then 3 copies of the Crimson Resonator. This is your extender after you use both the Bone Archfiend and Soul Resonator. It just special summons more Resonators to synchro summon and tribute off. And then, yeah, there's 3 copies of Wandering King Wildwind. It's just good both in the grave and the special summon to field. Yeah, it's just great. Overall, it's a great combo tool. It's a great destructor or sack for multiple cards like your Bone Archfiend discard or something like that, like your Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. Next is your 3 Resonator calls. I mean, all it does is add 1 Resonator from your deck to your hand. That's it. No cost, no nothing. So that's the starting engine. Let's just put that over there. Next, I'll go into the rest of the Resonators, which there aren't that many left that I play, but we'll start off with 2 Synchron Resonators. It's just great to get another Resonator, and I don't think that effect is once per turn. Don't fact check me on that. I'll read it later. Or I'll just do it now. No, it's not. I didn't think so, but it just, once it's sent to the graveyard, either by Bane or something else, you can add another Resonator that isn't itself to your hand. And then there's only 1 copy of Vision Resonator. Most people run 2 or 3. I don't know where my other copies went, but one Vision Resonator has worked great. It's not a starter, but it does allow you to get a card that can be if it's sent to the grave, which I'll show you in a combo. And then 1 Barrier Resonator. This is great for Tenpai just to have in hand, so that you can't take any battle damage from your, if there's a Resonator on the field. So if they block your Soul Resonator or something, then you have this in your hand. You could send it on their turn and no battle damage. Now, if they get rid of it, that's a problem. But it's still there. And you don't normally draw into this much. And also, you run so much engine in this deck that it doesn't really matter. Then 1 copy of Red Resonator. If you already have one of your Vision Resonator or Synchron Resonator in your hand, you can summon Red Resonator instead of one of them off of Crimson. Again, I'll show you that in the combo. And whenever it's special summoned, you gain life points. So, of course, if you're down for whatever reason, you can just do that. Moving on to, let's just go on to the rest of the monsters. 1 Obsessive Evolute. It's just standard. It's a Fiend Tuner, level 4. It can bring itself back if you banish something, and most of the things that you can banish, you can bring back with another card that I'll show you later. Just overall pretty decent. Hear me out on this one. 1 copy of Ascator Dawnwalker and 1 copy of Fire Ant Ascator. Level 5, level 3, free Red Dragon Archfiend. That's mostly why I play this, because if I have Ascator Dawnwalker in hand, and this is in deck, or even if it is in my hand, after something gets blocked, I can just do this for free Scar Red Dragon Archfiend, or Red Dragon Archfiend, Scarlight, whatever I need, as long as it's level 8. So like your Bastille Disbatter, I think? I don't run that, because I'm on a budget, but still. Then off to the hand traps, 3 Ash, that's just standard. 1 Veiler, you can run more, but this is already pretty hefty deck. Before this video, I'd shaved it down from 50 cards on the dot. Still worked with the 50 cards, it was just unneeded resonators that I just liked. 1 Droll, don't really use this, you can run more if you want, but you can side deck the other ones, same with the Veiler. Skullmeister, it's a pretty good card. This one is really old, it's from one structure deck that I got from one of my friends a long time ago. It's just great. Graveyard Disruption. Then the Bastille Magnamut. You can banish, like if you have your Skullmeister or Effect Veiler, it's just a free body on the board. You don't want to do that for your main line until afterwards, after you get your Red Rising Dragon and Crimson Resonator back, because that just screws up the combo. But if you don't have a way of doing that, which is highly unlikely, you still can. Going on into the rest of the spells, you run 3 Crimson Gaias. It's just more engine and gets you in engine. You run... I personally do this. It's just for style points, and it's also a great way to get into a non-engine or your engine. Resonator command, you can dump a resonator to get a resonator, like an unneeded resonator, via the barrier resonator into something else. You don't really draw into that one. I don't really draw into resonator command that much, but I run 1 resonator engine. Personally, I like the card. It's great recycling if it gets to a grind game, which this deck isn't the best for grind games, but it's not the worst. Run 1 Absolute Power Force. It can stop your opponent's effects, it can gain attack, it can do a lot. Rekindling. There's the Red Lotus King, or whatever that card's called. This can get into that. This can also bring back your Soul Resonator and Red Resonator if you need bodies. Again, don't really draw into that. Foolish Burial. This is for the Obsessive Loop, or you can do like a Soul Resonator, Synchron Resonator thing, where you can get it if you dump the Synchron Resonator. But this is mostly just for the Obsessive Loop to get into grave. Raigeki, just destruction. 1 Called By, another hand trap. And then 1 Dark Hole, still destruction. It's like you can start off with the Dark Hole. What I've done is Dark Hole, Raigeki, if I have both of them in hand. Next up are this deck only runs 4 traps. You can shave it. Actually, you can add 1 and shave the other. You can shave 1 down, doesn't really matter. I run 2 Imperms, again, just easy disruption. And then Red Zone and Red Rain. Alright. Now, to get into the combos, or there's 1 main combo. All you really need is a Soul Resonator. I'll show you the one with just Soul Resonator and the one if you have another card in hand. Soul Resonator. Actually, let's just keep another one. This card is a random card. Soul Resonator, normal summon. You get your Bone Archfiend. Bone Archfiend, dump the random card. Then activate Bone Archfiend effect to send Crimson Resonator to grave to lower Soul Resonator by 1. Sync these off into... Oh, I didn't even show you the extra deck. That's my bad. Red Supernova, Red Nova, Scarlight, that's your one-offs. 2 Banes, 2 Abyss, 2 regular RDA, 2 Scar Red, and then 3 Red Rising. Scar Red brings, or can bring, a Red Dragon Archfiend. I like to do Abyss, just for the negate, especially if you're going first. Abyss, like I just said, it's a negate. Bane is a pop to revive, which means that you destroy a card on the field to get a Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard. Scarlight is good destruction. Red Nova is, and Red Supernova are just if you need a big body on the board. So, back to what I was saying. Yeah, you sink Soul Resonator and Bone Archfiend off. Let's just get rid of that. For a Red Rising, bring back your Crimson Resonator. Crimson Resonator, most of the time what you would do is bring your Synchron and Vision Resonator. Special them, take Crimson and Red Rising. You can do Vision instead of Crimson, but I wouldn't recommend it yet, because if they negate something, that's bad. You get into your Scar Red Dragon Archfiend. Scar Red doesn't really do anything until you sync it off with the Vision Resonator. Vision Resonator will do something here in a second. You get your Bane. The Vision Resonator will allow you to add a card that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend. So you can do two things. You can either do a Crimson Gaia, but if you already have that, then a Red Zone. The Red Zone is great for disruption, right? Yeah, it's great popping. It has pop effect. Crimson Gaia, though, is your normal choice if you don't already have it or have access to it. Scar Red Engrave. This is all going first, if you couldn't tell. We'll bring Abyss. You can't activate this. It doesn't really matter at this point. Yeah, because Crimson Gaia can then add the Red Zone to your hand. Then normally you would activate a Bane to Synchron Resonator into a Scar Red, and then Synchron Resonator will add the Vision Resonator to your hand. You'll activate the Vision Resonator special, and then what was I gonna... Right now, this is a body. Normally, if you have a Wandering King Wildwind, you'll special it, and then what you'll do is you'll then get the Red Rising, bring back the Vision Resonator, or Crimson Resonator, doesn't really matter, to get into a Scarlight. But if you don't have a Wandering King Wildwind or a way to get into it, or another level 4 body, you're a little cooked. Just little. I mean, you still gotta negate a destruction, a 3,000 attack body, and then another body in Vision Resonator. And then you got Crimson Gaia, which can get you into the red zone. You set the red zone, you activate it during your opponent's like standby phase or main phase, and then you can destroy it, or you can pop a card. Anyway, I've been able to beat Malice going first and second pretty consistently and pretty easily. Can't really do much whenever you have a hand trap, or you have the hot red, or if you have a hand trap, hot red, and then the red zone. It's very hard to defeat it. Actually, I'm going to YCS with this deck, so wish me luck on it. Anyway, yeah, that's my Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile for the December 9th ban list. Anyway, thank you. Bye.